Students. Hello students, am I audible? Charlie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so within few minutes we will start our lecture. Still students are joining, so we will wait for them for 2 to 3 minutes, then we will start. Good afternoon, students. Now we will move towards our chapter. Before moving towards that chapter, first I will revise once again the whatever we have seen in previous lecture. Okay, first I will share my screen. Whether my screen is visible to all? Yes, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One minute. I will create one folder so we can implement our programs in it. Okay. In previous few lectures, we have seen how to create objects, classes. Then we have moved towards the first pillar of Java, that is first concept, that is inheritance. Okay, and after inheritance, we have moved towards polymorphism. And in polymorphism, it's basically divided into two parts, runtime and compile time. We will see it in today's lecture, but before covering that point, we have seen method overloading. Again, it is divided into two subtypes by changing the number of arguments and by changing the data types. We have implemented its program also while seeing its theory part. Then we have moved towards method overriding. In that, we have seen how to override the methods. And for that, we have used two different ways. First one, by using these three rules. Means first we have checked whether the method must have the same name as in the parent class. Then second rule, the method must have the same parameter in the parent class and it must be easy relationship. Means it must be present in the interface. And that is nothing but inheritance concept. Okay. So this is three rules we have applied for method overloading. And after that, we have seen a simple program for covariant return type. And now we are moving towards the super keyword. Okay, we are moving towards super keyword. Okay, now after completion of polymorphism, we are moving towards packages and abstraction. Then we are moving towards the Eclipse. That is the important GUI for your Java program. Okay, when we will complete the package, then you are able to get how the folders will be get created at the backend. And after that creation process, we are moving towards the Eclipse. So whatever we will see tomorrow, today and tomorrow, we will implement on Eclipse also after completion of second chapter. Okay, first we will complete it on the notepad only and then we are implementing it on the Eclipse. Before that, try to install it on your laptop or machines. Okay, if your laptop is of 32-bit, then take a 32-bit file for installation of Eclipse. And if your laptop is of 64-bit, then take a 64-bit. But you have to make sure that if you are installing 32-bit version of Eclipse, then your JDK must be a 32-bit. Same is applicable for 64. If you mismatch both the things, then it will generate the error and Eclipse will not open on your laptop or machine. Okay, so you have to take care about that. So before starting our Eclipse process, just go through it, start downloading, start installing. So within 2 to 3 days, your installation process will get done whenever you are having the time in between the lectures or after the lectures. And whenever we will complete our second chapter, we will try some simple programs on the Eclipse, and from third chapter onwards, your complete Java will work on the Eclipse. Okay. Any queries? The students, any queries?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, we have completed this keyword, right? In same fashion, we are having the one more keyword in the Java, that is the Eclipse. Many keywords are available. We are seeing one by one. So in polymorphism, we are having its great use because whenever you want to use the reference variable in immediate parent class, parent class मधला जर रेफरन्स व्हेरिएबल तुम्हाला चाइल्ड क्लास मध्ये ऍक्सेस करायचा असेल, त्या केस साठी तुम्हाला सुपर कीवर्ड लागेल. सेम इज ऍप्लिकेबल फॉर द मेथड अँड सेम इज ऍप्लिकेबल फॉर द कन्स्ट्रक्टर. For this keyword, we have used within a class, and whenever you are using in between two different or more than two different classes, but they are in the inheritance, then super keyword is get utilized. Okay, so according to that, the super keyword in Java is a reference variable which is used to refer immediate parent class object. And whenever you create the instance of subclass an instance of a parent class is created implicitly, which is referred by super reference variable. Okay, so this is the basic use of a super keyword in the Java. Okay, so whenever two or more than two classes are there and they are connected, intermediately connected with the help of an inheritance, then and then only you can go for the super keyword. So mainly three uses are there for the super keyword. First one is super can be used to refer immediate parent class instance variable. Second one, super can be used to invoke immediate parent class method. And third one, for the constructor, parent class constructor, like this keyword. Okay, so for that, we will see one simple example. Okay, one by one. And then we will use the instance initializer block. So we will see its one by one example through program, so you can easily get its idea. Okay, I will open it. Whether my screen is visible, I think I have shared only text document. Sorry, PPT. Just a minute. I will stop sharing my screen so I can share complete screen. Okay, are you able to see it? Yes, students, are you able to see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Okay. So first one is related to instance variable. We can use super keyword to access the data members or fields of a parent class, and it is used if parent class and child class have the same fields. Okay, means same variable name is there, then and then we can go for it. So first I will use it for one class. Suppose that name of a class is a flower. Name of class is a flower. Then I will write one variable name as a color. Initially I will write color as a white. Okay, I have written color as a white. Then I will take one more class which inherits the properties of a flower class. Suppose I will take here okay, I have taken here Jasmine, which extends properties of a flower class. Okay, which extends properties of a flower class. In that, I will write color as a suppose a faint pink is there, so I will write just pink. You can take any example for such a type of a programs. Now I want to print it on the console. What is its color? For that printing purpose, I will use one method having name as a print color. You can take any other example also. Okay, for just printing purpose, I am using this print color method, and in that I will write just SOP statement. Initially, I will write a simple variable name as a color. Now, I have written here one variable name having color. Now, which variable is get called over here? Is it from Jasmine or is it from flower? Yes, students, we have seen that this keyword, right? Now, I have not used here super keyword. So, whatever variable we have used out of that means out of these two classes, which variable is called for this printing purpose over here? सी मी इथे एक कलर नावाचं व्हेरिएबल घेतलेलं आहे. आता हे जे कलर नावाचं व्हेरिएबल आहे ते फ्लॉवर ह्या क्लासमध्ये पण आहे, जास्मिन ह्या क्लासमध्ये पण आहे. आता ह्या दोन्हीपैकी कुठलं फेच केलं जाईल इथे व्हेरिएबल? For the same you can refer this keyword also. Yes, students, you can drop message also, right? Prerna has written correct one. Vikas, right? Anybody else who want to give the answer? Now see. मी आता इथे प्रोग्राम कंप्लीट करते. आता तुमच्या साईडने हा प्रोग्राम इम्प्लिमेंट करून मग मला आन्सर सांगायचं. काही जणांचं बरोबर आहे, काही जणांचं अजूनही कन्फ्युजन आहे. सो जस्ट चेक इट. Okay. I will first write the complete program. You have to also write from your side. Just go for execution and check whether you will get the correct answer or not. Okay, आता super dot color. Now, whenever I will apply the super keyword before the variable, it go for parent class. Now here white is get fetched, and for this one pink color is get fetched. Okay, this is the use of super keyword. If I will not use the super keyword, it cannot fetch the parent class property. It just fetch the child class properties only. That's why we are using super keyword in our program. Okay. Now I will create a main class which holds. So this is first program for today. So I will write here first. In that public static void main string elements. Okay, now create the object of a Jasmine. J is equal to new Jasmine. Constructor is the constructor, then use the print color method to print the values because we have created this method. Okay, now you have to implement it from your side and just check whatever I have given the answers, whether you are getting the same answers or not. Okay, 1 minute, I will save it first. Okay, so try to implement it. You can implement on online editors also, no issues. Try to implement it. Meanwhile, I will move inside that folder. Okay, check whether you are getting same or not. Now, after implementation, we will move towards the method. Same logic is applicable for the method also. After implementation, just give me a message like that we have implemented, or you can share your screen, no issues. Okay. Anybody else who has got the answer? Yes, students. Okay. Now we will move towards the next, that is the method. How to implement or how to invoke parent class method through super keyword. So I will take a one more class. I will use the same class. Okay. I will take another class like animal. In that, I will write one method as a eating or just eat. And in this method, I will just write SOP statement. SOP statement. And I will write process of eating. Process of eating like this. Okay, so you can take any example for this set. And after that, I will take one child class. Suppose class is a dog, which extends properties of an animal class. Again, same void. But here I will change okay, here I will change like biscuits. Okay, you can take any other name. Then I will add one more sentence in this. Otherwise, I will take a new method, void, because we have taken here dog, so we can write the bark also. So in SOP statement, just write the process as a barking. Okay, so in child class, I have taken total 2 methods. And in this, now what I will do, I will give some spaces over here like this. So you can take get its difference easily. Okay. Now I want to call parent class method in the child class. Okay, see, if I want to call parent class method in a child class, then I will use one more method. And in this method, I will call the parent class method. For example, super. This method I want to call in the child class. So just I have taken here super dot name of a parent class method. Name of a parent class method. And after that, whatever next method you want to implement, just write over here. Just write over here like a second method is bark. So just write bark. Okay, means whenever in the main method we will call this method, at that time simultaneously it first take the parent class method and then it take the child class method, that is the bark. Okay, clear up to this? Now we will take a main method. So first take a one class, in that write a main method. And in this main method, write string arguments. And now create the object of a child class, that is dog. b is equal to new dot, and just call the work method. Just call the work method over here and first save it. 1 minute, I will save it first. Okay, now see what I have done. First, I have created the object of a child class, Then I have called the method which is available in the child class. But in this method, what I have written? First, I have called the parent class method, that is super.eat, with the help of a super keyword. Eat नावाची जी आपली मेथड आहे ती मी कशी कॉल केली, super या कीवर्डनी. And then in second line, I have called the second method which is available in the child class, that is the dog. Okay, now whenever you will implement it, it first print the statement of parent class method, that is the eat, and second it will print the statement from bark method. Understood? Understood? Okay, and if I will make a simple change in our program like this, d dot eat. See here, I have just called this method which is available in the both parent class as well as in child class. But whenever I will call here like this, by default it will goes here. You can see in the compiler. लक्षात येते? ज्या वेळेस आपण सुपर कीवर्ड यूज करू त्याच वेळेला ते पॅरेंट क्लास कडे जाणार आहे. अदरवाइज जे काही चाइल्ड क्लास मध्ये आपण लिहिलेलं आहे तेच प्रिंट करेल. ओके, have you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Whether you want to try it from your side? Actually, it's easy, but if you want to try it, we can wait for 3 minutes. Yes, students? Okay, just try it from your side. I will give you 2 minutes, and after that we will move towards the constructor. How to invoke parent class constructor in the child class. And then we will see the real-time example for the super keyword. Right now we are taking very sample examples for understanding the concept behind it. Now, after implementation of variable, method, and constructor, we will see one real life example. Okay. Just go for it. Yes, have you completed? Okay, now I will move towards next one, that is constructor. Next one is the constructor. So I will take a new file. Now what I will do, I will take a same class name, but I will create the constructors for this. See, I'm creating here the constructors, and in that I'm writing the SOP statements. Now here animal constructor is get created, so I will write here animal constructor is created. Animal constructor created. Now I will write one more class having name as a dog, which inherits the properties of a animal class. Again, I will create a one constructor for the same. And in that constructor, first I will call the parent class constructor through super keyword. And then I will write my own sentence. My own sentence as dog constructor is created. लक्षात येते? सुपर कीवर्डने आपण कन्स्ट्रक्टर कसा कॉल केला, जसं दिस कीवर्डला केलं होतं सेम फॉर्मॅट आहे, फक्त तिथे एकाच क्लासमध्ये करत होतो, इथं पॅरेंट चाइल्ड अँड पॅरेंट क्लास. ओके, ह्याच्यामध्ये आपले कॉम्बिनेशन का तर इनहेरिटन्सचा यूज करून आपण पॉलिमॉर्फिझम कडे जातो. देन create a one more class which holds the main method, string arguments. Here create the object of a dog class, and whenever you are doing like this, means whenever you are creating the object, by default constructor is get called. So whatever you are writing inside that constructor is also get fetched over here. Just save it and implement it. Understood? The students, have you understood? Okay, now if you have understood this reference variable, method and constructor, then we will move towards the actual example based on this super keyword. So you can apply this logic to implement such an example. Okay, suppose take one employee class. You can also try it from your side. I will write also on the screen. So simultaneously you can check it for your reference. Okay, you can add your own functionality like a methods, constructors over here. Okay, just see the statement. Take one employee class which inherits person class. So all the properties of person will be inherited to employee by default. And to initialize all the property, we are using parent class constructor from child class. लक्षात येते काय करायचंय? एक एम्प्लॉई नावाचा क्लास क्रिएट करायचा आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये पर्सन हा पॅरेंट क्लास तुम्हाला कॉल करायचा, म्हणजेच एक्सटेंड करून घ्यायचा, म्हणजे पर्सनच्या सगळ्या प्रॉपर्टीज प्लस एम्प्लॉईच्या सेपरेट प्रॉपर्टीज. ठीक आहे, मग ह्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला जिथं गरज पडेल तिथं सुपर कीवर्ड वापरा. इट मे बी अ व्हेरिएबल, इट मे बी अ constructor, or it may be a method. Simultaneously, you can use the this keyword also. Can you try it from your side? I will also write over here. But meanwhile, first I will take the attendance, then I will move towards that part. So first of all, try it from your side. Otherwise, I will implement it. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. I will once again repeat this statement. Here you have to take one employee class which inherits the person class. ठीक आहे, मग पर्सन क्लास मध्ये तुम्ही आयडी नेम, त्याच्यानंतर एखादा कन्स्ट्रक्टर घ्यायचा असेल कन्स्ट्रक्टर पण घेऊ शकता. नेक्स्ट एम्प्लॉई क्लास मध्ये तुम्हाला तो पर्सन क्लास कॉल करायचा आहे with the help of a extend keyword, and in that add the own properties of the employee class like a salary, employee ID, etc. Okay, and then after that you have to use the display method and then call this employee class in the main method. ठीक आहे. फक्त तुम्हाला 2 क्लासेस करायचे आहेत. एक पर्सन जो पॅरेंट क्लास म्हणून ऍक्ट होईल आणि दुसरा आहे एम्प्लॉई तो चाइल्ड क्लास म्हणून ऍक्ट होईल. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये मग तुम्ही पर्सन क्लासच्या ज्या काही प्रॉपर्टीज रिक्वायर्ड आहेत त्या फेच करू शकता. बट while fetching it, use the super keyword. Okay, so meanwhile I will take the attendance. So try to implement it. Okay, students, I have taken the attendance. Just check in the chat box. I am adding it. First, I will add the A division. Now see in the chat box, I have added the absent roll numbers from both the divisions. If anybody is present from that list, just mention in the chat box so we can proceed further. Nobody is present from this list. Okay, 56. Anybody else? Finish? A division and B division? Okay. Okay. Now we will move towards that example that I have given you as a statement. First, we will create a person class. First, we will create a person class. In that, first I will take a one ID as a one reference number of that person, and second one I will take it as a name. This is the common, and this is applicable for all the employees, right? Then I will take one person constructor. Now I will use here this keyword also, integer ID, comma, string name. B52. Okay. Prashant. Why are you not mentioned whenever I am asking? Okay. See. Now first I have created here one constructor having two parameters, ID and name. I have purposefully used the same names that I have declared in the variables. So now you know that you can directly use this keyword to access the original variable through this constructor. That is ID, and second one name. Okay. And after that, we are moving towards the child class having name as an employee, which extends properties of person class. Which extends properties of a person class. So I will add one more property which is related to employee is nothing but salary. Which is related to employee is salary. So I will take a employee constructor, and in it I will pass ID, then name, and after that I will pass the salary. Float. Here also I have used the same names, but now see what I am doing over here. Super keywords are used शिकलेलो आहोत, right? Now you can directly call the constructor of a parent class with the help of a super keyword like this. Super, and inside that original variables ID and name that we have declared over here. And then write the third keyword, this dot salary, because we have used the same name, that's why we have taken the same variable with the help of a this keyword. लक्षात येते? Constructor. Here we have used the super constructor to call the parent class constructor. Okay. Is there a query? Clear up to this? Hello students. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we are moving towards the main class. And here we will call the main method. Okay, now just create the object of employee class like this. E is equal to new employee. Okay, but we have not written any display method to display this data to user because we are taking this data from the user in the format of a constructor. Suppose 44 is the ID of that person, then name is like this XYZ, and after that salary is in the floating. So suppose 40,000 is the salary, but we have not written any method to print this value to user. For that purpose, we will write one simple method in the child class, that is employee as void display, like we have done in the previous examples. In previous lecture, we have used such a types of a method. Same logic I will apply over here. Just write SOP statement println, and whatever parameters you have taken, just mention here ID plus name, and last one is the salary. It will print all the values to user. So just save the program first. When you will get practice of these two keywords, then you can easily use it in your programs. So just practice it for many times by taking the different examples. Then call this method with the help of object. So whatever values we have given through this constructor, that will be the printer on the console. Java C. Understood? लक्षात आलं सुपर कीवर्डचा यूज? Yes, student. Have you got it? Hello. If you have understood, then we will move towards the next point. Yes, students. Should I move towards next point, or whether you want to try it once again? Okay. It means you have implemented, right? Now, next one is the instance initializer block. Next one is the instance initializer block. You can use it to initialize the instance data members, and it run each time when object of a class is get created. Okay, and the initialization of the instance variable can be done directly, but there can be perform extra operations while initializing the instance initializer block. So you can apply this process, or you can apply such a types of operations in these three blocks, like a method, constructor, and blocks. And there are mainly three rules to design an instance initializer block. Okay, according to rules, you have to start it. First, the instance initializer block is created when the instance of a class is created. Means whenever you are creating the object, at that time you can use this instance initializer block. Second one, the instance initializer block is invoked after the parent class constructor is invoked. Parent क्लासचा जेव्हा तुम्ही constructor कॉल करता, त्याच्यानंतर तुम्ही हा ब्लॉक डिझाइन करू शकता. थर्ड वन, The instance initializer block comes in the order in which they appear. Okay, means whenever you are calling such a types of blocks, you have to check on which location you are calling, and according to that, its working will get start. Okay, but you cannot directly find out how it works. For that, we need to move on the program, so you can easily get it idea how to initialize it in between parent class and child class. Okay, now see how to start it within program. So just now I have shown you that you can start such a types of blocks directly in the method, in constructor, or in any type of a block. So according to that, we will see one by one. We will see one by one, so you can easily get its idea. First, we will see a sample example for this one, how to add the instance initializer block in the method or in the class. See it carefully. What I'm doing, just I am adding one class having name as a bike. In that class, I am writing one parameter as a speed. लक्षात येते मी फक्त एक सिंपल क्लास घेतलाय त्याच्यामध्ये स्पीड नावाचे एक व्हेरिएबल ऍड केले. नाउ आय एम मेकिंग वन कन्स्ट्रक्टर फॉर दिस सेम. I am designing one constructor for this same, and in that constructor I am mentioning one SOP statement for printing the values, and in that I will write the original speed that we want to assign to this bike. So I will write here speed is, and here pass that variable. Now come out of this constructor. Now here add this instance initializer block. Use the open and closed curly braces to initialize such a types of a block. Now I have randomly added in between this class. मी आता मध्येच add केलंय, right? This type of a declaration is called as the instance initializer block. Now I will change the value of a speed over here. Speed is equal to 100. Initially I have not passed any speed, means any value to this variable. Now I have passed the value to this speed. लक्षात येते मी आधी इनिशियली इथे डिक्लेअर केलेली नाही. आधी कन्स्ट्रक्टर कॉल केला आणि त्याच्यानंतर मी स्पीडला एखादी व्हॅल्यू पास केली. नाउ I will call the main method public static void main, and in that pass the string arguments. And just call this constructor. Just call this constructor. Now I will take a one object bike b1 is equal to new bike, and in same format I will call the one more object like a b2. Okay, now first save it and try to execute it. Now what will be the answer for this program? Because first we have created the parameter and then we have assigned value through instance initializer block. So what will be the answer for this one? Any guesses, or can you try it from your side and then tell me its answer? So you will get idea for this instance initializer block. जेव्हा गरज पडेल त्याच वेळेला मी तो ब्लॉक ऍड केला, का तर मी वरती डिक्लेअर केलेली नव्हती व्हॅल्यू, पण ती आपल्याला लागणार होती, म्हणून मी त्यावेळेला ती instance initializer block मध्ये initialize केली. Okay, now what will be the answer for this program? You can drop in the chat box also, no issues. Yes, what will be the output for the program? Okay. Anybody else who want to give the answer? How many of you are trying from your side? Just drop the message in the chat box so I can wait for that much time. Speed is 100 two times. Okay. Anybody else who want to give the answer? Okay. So many of you have given the answer as 2 times 100. Those who have given this answer, all those are correct one. See here. I will execute here. Java C bike 100. Okay. Now see how the movements of this program will get done at the backend. First, it will go to this object, and after this object, first it will check where this constructor is present. Okay, where this constructor is present. Now it will move towards here. Here this constructor is there. After getting this constructor, it's try to print this value, and while printing this value, that compiler or that interpreter, because now compilation work has done by the compiler, and now it's moving towards the interpretation. So interpreters check whether this parameter is available inside this class or not. If yes, then it will check its value. Here that value is not fine. Now it will check whether any block is available inside this class or not. If yes, then it will check whether that value is assigned to parameter or not. If that value is assigned to that parameter, just it will check it, and just it will fetch it for this variable, and it will print on the console. So this is the flow of program if we are using the instance initializer block. Simple flow is there. So this is the very basic example for the instance initializer block. Now we will see it for the method, constructor, and block. Okay. Should we move there? Next point. Should we move to the next point? Yes, students. Now here we have called this simple variable. Now we can call the statement also. Now we can call the statement also. Just I will write it into comment, and here in SOP statement, what I will do, I will keep it like this, and just I will add one more statement in the same program. Okay, and here in place of this, I will add one statement. Constructor is invoked. Constructor is invoked. I have added inside the bike constructor. And in instance initializer block, I will write here one more SOP statement. One more SOP statement. And in this statement, I will write one sentence as instance initializer block is invoked. Instance initializer block is invoked. And remaining code, I will keep it as it is. पहिल्या स्टेटमेंटला मी कमेंट टाकली, ह्या ब्लॉकला पण कमेंट टाकली. मी फक्त एक स्टेटमेंट ऍड केलं, कन्स्ट्रक्टर एकदा कॉल होते म्हणून, and second statement कॉल केलं, त्याच्यामध्ये instance initializer block call होते. And just I have saved it, and now I am executing. Understood? Now see here, 2 times same sentences are get called because we have created 2 objects, and whenever we are calling the bike, at that time it first go to this constructor, whatever values are available in the constructor that are get printed on the console, and after that it will check whether any instance initializer block is available inside this class or not. But right now we have this block, so it will take this value and it will print on the console, because in this block we have written the SOP statement, so it will directly print on the console. But in our program, we have created total 2 objects. That's why 2 times values are get printed on the console. Understood? लक्षात येतं सगळ्यांच्या? Okay. Now can you try it from your side? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I will give you one statement. Actually, it is not a statement, but for your extra information, take a one simple class A. Okay, and in that create one constructor, and in that constructor just print any information in the SOP statement. See here carefully. Take a class A, in that create a constructor A, and through that constructor print a message to user. Then take a class B which extend class A. Okay, म्हणजे class B हा एक क्लास घ्यायचा, चाइल्ड क्लास घ्यायचा, त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला क्लास ए ला कॉल करायचंय. अगेन क्रिएट अ constructor of a class B, call the constructor of class A through super keyword, and again pass one more statement in that constructor. लक्षात येते? आणि त्याच्यानंतर एक constructor क्रिएट करा as a instance initializer block म्हणून. Otherwise, okay, just do that much things. Create a class A, create its constructor inside it, then create a child class as a class B, which call the class A, then create a constructor of a class B, and inside class B, create an instance initializer block like this. याप्रमाणे एक काहीतरी मेसेज त्याच्यामध्ये लिहा, त्याच्यानंतर मेन मेथड डिझाइन करून क्लास बी चा ऑब्जेक्ट डिझाइन करा आणि तिथून व्हॅल्यूज प्रिंट करा जस्ट. Okay, then you can apply the constructor overloading concept also. मी आता तुम्हाला एकच कन्स्ट्रक्टर क्रिएट करायला सांगितलंय, त्या फॉर्मॅट मध्ये तुम्ही पॅरामीटराइज एक कन्स्ट्रक्टर पण डिझाइन करू शकता. जस्ट हिअर यू हॅव टू पास वन पॅरामीटर इफ यू हॅव टेकन द पॅरामीटराइज कन्स्ट्रक्टर. कॅन यू ट्राय इट फ्रॉम युअर साइड? ओके, कॅन यू ट्राय? स्टेटमेंट लक्षात आलं सगळ्यांच्या काय करायचं? Yes, students, have you got that statement? Hello, students. Vedangi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So try it from your side, then we will move. Hello students, have you implemented? Have you implemented this one? I have given this statement. Take one class having name as A, call it inside the class B. Just take two constructors, call the parent class constructor using super keyword. Then try to design the Chaitanya, whether you want to say something. Whether you want to share your screen. Yes, Chaitanya, you have raised the hand. That's why I'm asking. No issues? All of you got the same one? Okay. Now, if you have done, just check whether you got the same one or any modified one, because you can add your own functionalities for trying it. If you have done, then we are moving towards final keyword. Next one is the final keyword. See, final keyword in Java used to restrict the user, and the Java final keyword can be used for many constraints like variable, method, and class. Variable, method, and the class. But why we are using the final keyword in the Java? Whether you have implemented in the CPP? The students, whether you have implemented?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, then I will explain once again. I think I have not explained previously. Okay, now see, I will explain it. What is mean by final keyword? Final keyword, whenever you are using in your program, what it will do, it apply with the mostly on the variables, then methods and the classes. And after applying, its main use is what? To stop value change, then stop method overriding, and stop inheritance. जेव्हा जेव्हा तुम्ही फायनल कीवर्ड व्हेरिएबलला अप्लाय करताल त्यावेळेस आपण व्हेरिएबलची व्हॅल्यू चेंज करू शकत नाही. जेव्हा मेथड सोबत यूज करताल त्यावेळेस मेथड ओव्हररायडिंग करता येत नाही. आणि जेव्हा क्लास सोबत यूज करतात त्यावेळेस इनहेरिटन्स अप्लाय होत नाही. ओके, सो whenever you want to stop value change, method overriding and inheritance, in that case you need to use the final keyword with variable or method or class. Understood? लक्षात येते? जेव्हा जेव्हा आपल्याला व्हॅल्यू चेंज होऊ द्यायची नाहीये, मेथड ओव्हररायडिंग अवॉइड करायचंय, प्लस इनहेरिटन्स पण इम्प्लिमेंट नाही करायचं त्या पर्टिक्युलर क्लास साठी, त्याच केस मध्ये आपण फायनल कीवर्ड अप्लाय करणार आहोत. ओके, now see, if I will use it for variable, you cannot make change of that variable value. it will be considered as a constant. It will be considered as a constant. For example, if I have taken speed limit of my bike as a 90, speed limit of my bike as a 90, and if I will declare it as a final, then you cannot change inside any constructor or any method. ओके, त्यानंतर परत ते तुम्ही कन्स्ट्रक्टर असेल, मेथड असेल किंवा इन्स्टन्स इनिशियलायझर ब्लॉक असेल, तिथे कुठेही त्या व्हेरिएबलला चेंज करू शकत नाही. You can see over here now. I will take a new class, bike1. ओके, हे तुम्हाला कुठे ऍप्लिकेबल होईल सांगते, ज्या केस मध्ये तुम्ही एखादं ऍप्लिकेशन डिझाईन करताय, right? And in that case, if you want to pass a age limit, if you want to pass a age limit, it means if you want to pass a age limit as a 18 only, म्हणजे फक्त 18 चेच घ्यायचे आहेत, त्याच्या आधीचे किंवा त्याच्या नंतरचे नकोय. In that case, you can use this type of a variable final, then like this integer. Now here we are taking speed. Speed is equal to 90. ज्यावेळेस तुम्हाला ते व्हेरिएबल फिक्स हवे, फॉर एक्झाम्पल पायची व्हॅल्यू असेल, right? In that case, you can declare this variable as a final. Now I will create a method inside it, void run. Then I am trying to change its value. I am trying to change its value as a 100, not more than that. I am taken very simple, that is 100. And after that, I will write a main method, public static void main string arguments. Just create object for this one. We have taken bike1, b is equal to new bike1, and just call this method as b dot run, and just save this program. Now check what will be the answer for this one. We have declared it as a final. We have declared it as a final, but still we have tried to change it. Now see what happens. Java C bike see what will be the error. Cannot assign value to final variable speed is equal to 100, because we have declared it as a final, so we cannot change its value. So this comes under the compile time error. You got it at the time of a compilation, so that type of error is called as the compile time error. And what is that error? You cannot assign a value to final variable speed. Understood? लक्षात येते? And same is applicable for the method. Same is applicable for the method. व्हेरिएबलचा यूज लक्षात आलाय? तर मग आपण मेथड कडे जाऊया. We can mention in the chat box also, no issues. Understood? Okay. Now आता आपण व्हेरिएबल पाहिलं, सेम फॉर्मॅट मध्ये मेथड पण आहे, क्लास पण आहे. नाउ वी विल फर्स्ट चेक दी मेथड. I will apply the same example because now you are familiar with this. So I will take here one method and I will declare it as a final. मी ते एक मेथड घेतली, तिला फायनल म्हणून डिक्लेअर केली आणि ह्याच्यामध्ये मी जस्ट SOP स्टेटमेंट लिहिते. प्रिंट running just for our information. Okay, now I will take a one more child class. Suppose एक child class घेतला ह्याच्यामध्ये आणि बाईकला कॉल करते parent class, and inside it I will once again write the method void run. running safely. Okay, just I have written statement as a running safely. And then I will call the main method public static void main string arguments. Just create the object of a class Honda. H is equal to, and now try to call the method run. Try to call the method run. Now see, just now we have declared method as a final in the parent class, and in same way we are trying to declare it in the child class, right? And whenever we are applying same methods, same name methods with same argument list in the child and parent class, such a case is called as the method overriding, right? We have seen in the previous lecture. But right now we have seen that if we are applying final keyword to any method, we cannot perform the method overriding, right? To avoid the method overriding, we are using final keyword. Now check what happens. It again generates the compile time error, but see which type of error is get generated. You can see error run in Honda cannot override run in bike 2 because of final. This error is get generated because of final keyword. That's why we cannot override it. Understood it? To stop the method overriding, we can use the final keyword in the parent class. Understood? This error is called as the compile time error. And same is applicable with class. Now see how it will be applicable for the classes also. I will take the same example, but I will change the name of a class. Now see what I have done. I have created one blank class having name as a bike 3, and I will extend over here. The remaining portion I will keep it like this only. I will change the name of a subclass as a Honda 1. So it will be new. The remaining part I have taken as it is and just save it. Cannot inherit from final byte 3 because we have declared our class as a final. Understood? Whatever errors we have got through this final keyword are applicable for variables, methods, and classes. Whenever you will declare variable as a final, we cannot change its value. Whenever you will declare method as a final, we cannot override it. And whenever you will declare class as a final, you cannot inherit it. So this is the main intention behind this final keyword. So whenever you are designing any type of application, if you want to avoid such a 3 things, then you can apply the final keyword. And now see, I will open the previous program. Just a minute, I will open this program first. I want to show one more thing. See, मी इथे मेथड फायनल केली, राईट? आता मी इथे मेथड ओव्हरराईड करत नाही. जस्ट आय हॅव डिक्लेअर्ड मेथड एज अ फायनल इन अ parent class, and now I'm trying to implement it. See what happens. If final method is inherited but cannot override it, this is the concept. See, you got this one, that is compile झाला. मगाशी हाच प्रोग्राम कंपाईल होत नव्हता, राईट? का तर आपण ओव्हरराईड करायला जात होतो, पण आता मी ओव्हरराईड केलंच नाही. जी ओरिजिनल मेथड आहे तीच आपल्याला पॅरेंट क्लास मध्ये हवी असेल तर keep it as it is. It means we can call the final method in the child class, but we cannot override. That is the main motto behind this final keyword. Now see, I will implement it. Running. Whatever message we have written inside it, that will be get printed on the console. Okay. Have you understood? Now, if you are creating any application, in that case, you can apply final variable, for example, for the PAN cards, Aadhaar cards. Okay, for these numbers, you can apply the final keyword because these are the constant numbers for that person. No need to change it. In that cases, you can apply the final variable, and through that, you can proceed further in your applications. Is there any queries? If you are not having any queries, then we will move towards the types of a polymorphism. Because whatever things are required for the polymorphism we have covered within these 2 days. Now we are moving towards the types of a polymorphism. Okay, should we move towards polymorphism with its types? Polymorphism is nothing but we can perform a single action in different ways. Polymorphism meaning is nothing but we can perform single action with many ways, right? So according to that, it is divided into 2 types: compile time, that is static polymorphism, and runtime, it means dynamic polymorphism. Okay, so these are the types, but we will see one by one. Mainly compile time polymorphism comes under with the help of a method overloading, and runtime is nothing but method override. So these are the 2 concepts related to types of a polymorphism. Out of that, we have covered the method overloading at the starting of a polymorphism only, and method overriding after this method overloading. Right, so right now you have done with these 2 points. Types of a polymorphism, in that compile time and runtime. लक्षात येते, आधी आपण ते हे दोन्ही टाइप्स पाहिलेले आहेत, मग आपण टाइप्स कडे आलेलो. But in this again you have one more part, that is the upcasting and downcasting. Upcasting and downcasting. In this process, an overridden method is called through the reference variable of a superclass while designing the method overriding and method overloading. But in some cases, you want to call the parent class constructor or child class constructor according to your use. For that purpose, we are moving towards the upcasting and downcasting. ओके, आतापर्यंत आपण काय केलं होतं? चाइल्ड क्लासचा ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करताना चाइल्ड क्लासचाच कन्स्ट्रक्टर पास करायचं. Because of that, you can call the only child class methods. But if you want to call the parent class methods, then you can use the upcasting, downcasting methods. Okay, now see what is comes under the upcasting. If The reference variable of a parent class refers to the object of a child class is known as the object, that is upcasting. लक्षात येते, if a reference of a parent classचा reference जर आपण कॉल करत असो चाइल्ड क्लास मध्ये, त्या प्रोसेसला आपल्याला काय म्हणायचंय, अपकास्टिंग. सी हिअर आय हॅव टेकन व्हेरी सिम्पल एक्झाम्पल ऍज अ बाईक. एक रन नावाची मेथड घेतली, त्या क्लासमध्ये एक चाइल्ड क्लास डिझाइन केलाय स्प्लेंडर. In that I have extended properties of a bike class, right? And here while creating the object, what I have done, I have created object of a parent class, but while creating I have passed the constructor of a child class. लक्षात येते, ऑब्जेक्ट कुणाचा क्रिएट केला, पॅरेंट क्लासचा, पण कन्स्ट्रक्टर कुणाचा पास केला, मीन्स इन्स्टन्स कुणाचा जनरेट करायला बघितला आपण, child class. So this type of a declaration is called as the upcasting. Creating the reference variable of a parent class which refers to the object of a child class is called as the upcasting. Understood? जेव्हा तुम्ही अशा टाइपनी प्रोसेस कॉल करताय, त्या केसमध्ये अपकास्टिंग म्हणायचं आहे. आणि इथे तुमचा कुठली मेथड कॉल होईल, तर चाइल्ड क्लासची. Because we have created object for the child class, that's why it will print the value of a child class only. If I will create here object of a parent class, in that case only it will print the value of a parent class. Okay, can you try it from your side? Okay, before trying, just see the downcasting also, so simultaneously you can implement it. This is one more example related to upcasting. See here. Okay, and then first see the downcasting, and then we will move towards the static binding and dynamic binding. It will take a more time, so first take a upcasting, then try to implement the downcasting also. When subclass type refers to the object of a parent class is known as the downcasting. If we perform it directly, compiler gives compilation error, and if you perform it by typecasting, it will generate class cast exception at the time of a running of your program. But if we use the instance of operator, downcasting is possible. You cannot directly apply the downcasting in your program. Okay, for that you need to first see the what is mean by instance of operator, and then you can easily implement the downcasting. Okay, so first implement this upcasting program from your side, then we will move further to this static binding and dynamic binding, and then we will see the instance of operator, then you can move further related to downcasting. Okay, so first try to implement this program. You can apply it for the rate of interest, because we have implemented that program while making the inheritance, so you can apply over here. Yes, anybody has completed it? Yes, students, anybody of you have completed it? Okay, have you got it? Vedangi? Vaishnavi? Have you tried? Hello. Unnati, have you implemented? Okay. So I will share my screen also. Simultaneously, you can check it, how it will get implemented. So it will be easy for everybody, right? I will implement the same program. Now see, create the object of a bike class. B is equal to new. Then just call that method. Now see, what will be the error? Because I have called this main method, sorry, main class name, right? So here upcasting is required to call the method name, right? You can see the error also. Just a minute. So we are using the upcasting to call the, that's why you need to pass this class name. 1 minute, I have saved by using just a, because bike 4 is not holding the main method. ओके, मी आता इथे काय केलंय, बाईक फोरचाच ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट केला बाय युजिंग constructor of a bike class. That's why it has printed the value which is available in the parent class. But if you want to print the values of a child class, then you need to pass the constructor of a child class, and this process is called as the upcasting. This process is called as the upcasting. Now just once again compile it. Then child class methods will get called. Understood? All of you got the same one? लक्षात येते? जर तुम्ही इथे कन्स्ट्रक्टर जो यूज करत असाल त्यानुसार तुमची व्हॅल्यू प्रिंट होईल. ठीक आहे, पण तुम्ही ऑब्जेक्ट तयार केलाय पॅरेंट क्लासचा, पण कन्स्ट्रक्टर यूज करताय चाइल्ड क्लासचा. दॅट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज दी अपकास्टिंग. डाउनकास्टिंग अपोजिट आहे, पण तुम्ही डायरेक्टली डाउनकास्टिंग इम्प्लिमेंट करू शकत नाही. त्यासाठी तुम्हाला इन्स्टन्स ऑफ व्हेरिएबल यूज करावं लागतं. मीन्स इन्स्टन्स ऑफ ऑपरेटर टेक्निक यू हॅव टू अप्लाय ओव्हर हिअर. Okay. Any queries? Okay. If you are ready to go further, then we will see the static binding and dynamic binding right now. Otherwise, we will see in the next lecture. Otherwise, we will once again revise what we have seen in today's lecture, and then we will stop here, because today we have completed super keyword, final keyword, types of a polymorphism. Means just we have seen because we have already implemented, and now we have seen the upcasting, right? Then this one also, instance initializer block also. If you are ready to listen these things, then and then only I will start. Otherwise, we will not move further. We will once again revise it, and then we will stop here itself. Yes, students, can we start this point or should we stop here? Yes, students. Yes, मी हा पॉइंट स्टार्ट करू दे का आता? कारण ऑलरेडी तुमचे 3 ते 4 पॉइंट्स कव्हर झालेले आहेत. जर स्टार्ट करा म्हटलं तरच मी स्टार्ट करणार आहे, अदरवाइज नेक्स्ट लेक्चरला आपण स्टार्ट करूयात. कारण ह्याच्यामध्ये पण असंच आहे की म्हणजे तुम्हाला एक कन्स्ट्रक्टर असणार आहे, त्याच्यानंतर एक मेथड असणार आहे, ह्या दोघांचं तुम्हाला बाइंडिंग करत करत पुढे जायचंय. दॅट्स व्हाय आय एम आस्किंग. Okay. Okay. So better option is that I will take it in the next lecture. कारण मी जर आता सांगितलं तर तुमचं ओव्हरफ्लो होईल असं मला वाटतंय. आज फक्त सगळ्यांनी ह्याची प्रॅक्टिस करायची, तरच तुम्हाला स्टॅटिक बाइंडिंग आणि डायनॅमिक बाइंडिंग इझिली लक्षात येईल. ठीक आहे, सगळ्यांनी ह्या पॉइंटची प्रॅक्टिस करा. मी लगेच पीपीटी शेअर करते. सगळ्यांनी ह्याची प्रॅक्टिस करा, जेणेकरून आपल्याला उद्याच्या लेक्चरला स्टॅटिक बाइंडिंग आणि डायनॅमिक बाइंडिंग स्टार्ट करता येईल. ओके, सो any queries in the today's lecture? Okay, so listen one thing. From Monday onwards, your ISC1 will be get scheduled. So you will get its timetable within 1 or 2 days. From 22nd November to uh, okay. So from 22 November, your ISC will be there. So according to that, try preparation from your side. We are keeping this ISC as a theory only because up till now, no any confirmation is given by university whether it is offline or online. So better option is that get practice related to theory, so you can easily perform it if final exams based on the theory. But we don't know whether that situation is get cleared or not. So we will try to keep it as a theory only. If online exams are there, then in that case we will go for MCQ for second ISC, but first ISC is on the theory only. लक्षात येते, theories असेल आणि त्याच्यानंतर आपल्या जावाचा सिलेबस आपला सेकंड चॅप्टर तोपर्यंत कम्प्लीट होते, कारण आता फक्त ऍबस्ट्रॅक्शन अँड नेक्स्ट वन इज अ एनकॅप्सुलेशन, हे दोनच कन्सेप्ट राहिलेले आहेत. बाकीचे छोटे कन्सेप्ट आहेत सेकंड चॅप्टर मधले, त्यामुळे आपलं तोपर्यंत सेकंड चॅप्टर कम्प्लीट होतोय. इट मीन्स फॉर युअर फर्स्ट ISC कम्प्लीट 2 चॅप्टर्स आर देयर फ्रॉम जावा. ओके, अँड वन मोर थिंग, आता जावाला तुमची ISC कशी असेल सांगते. बाकी सगळ्या ISC तुमच्या 30 मार्क्सच्या असतील. जावा आणि पायथॉनची ISC तुमची 25 मार्क्सची असेल. Listen it carefully. Remaining all 5 subjects are having ISC of 30 marks, and for Java and Python ISC is of 25 marks. फर्स्ट ISC ला आपण कम्प्लिटली थेरी घेतोय, त्यामुळे फर्स्ट ISC चा पेपर असताना तुमचा प्रोग्राम्स असतील सगळे. Sum of for 5 marks and sum of for 10 marks. Okay, you are having very few theory, but remaining is as a programs only. Means we are mentioning there as a one statement, and just we will write there as a define it, write the types of that particular point, and remaining part is related to program only. We will give the statements and you have to implement it, and completely you have to write on the pages. जरी तुमच्याकडे लॅपटॉप असला, डेस्कटॉप असला, तरी ते प्रोग्राम्स इम्प्लिमेंट करून बघा. पेज वरती लिहायचे आहेत. प्रत्येक पेज वरती रोल नंबर, डिव्हिजन, नेम या 3 गोष्टी कंपल्सरी आहेत. ओके, डोंट कीप दी स्क्रीनशॉट्स इन युअर PDF. Your answer paper must be in the written format. Then and then your answer papers will be get accepted from our side, and this is applicable for the all subjects. ओके, जरी हा प्रॅक्टिकल सब्जेक्ट असला तरी लॅब टेस्टला इट्स ओके, बट ISC ला तुम्हाला रिटर्न फॉर्मॅट मध्येच लिहायला हवं. जी काही थेरी असेल आणि त्याचं प्रॅक्टिकल असेल, त्याचा प्रोग्राम इम्प्लिमेंट करून बघा आणि तो कम्प्लिटली पेजेस वरती राईट डाऊन करायचं. ओके, अँड देन यू हॅव टू मेक इट्स PDF. गिव्ह नेम ऑफ अ PDF ॲज सब्जेक्ट नेम, division and roll number. I will once again provide this instruction when our IS will get start, but this is the normal rule. First, write down your subject name in the short form, then write your roll number, and then division and then roll number. Okay, generally हा फॉर्मॅट यूज करा जेणेकरून प्रत्येक स्टाफला इझी जाईल. Subject name underscore, division name underscore, and roll number. That is the best option to submit the answer sheets according to their format. Some may give you the Google links, that is Google Forms. Some may provide you the folder. So according to them, submit it on their respective links. Okay, and submit it within the time. Okay. Okay. What we will do, I will share my notes also. Right? मी माझ्या notes पण share करते. मग त्याचा रेफरन्स घेऊन तुम्ही प्रोग्राम्स इम्प्लिमेंट केले तरी चालेल. ठीक आहे. त्याचा रेफरन्स घेऊन तुम्ही प्रोग्राम तिथे लिहिलात तरी चालेल. इज इट ओके? ओके. एनी अदर क्वेरीज रिलेटेड टू ISC? हे स्टुडंट्स, ISC च्या कुणाला शंका असतील तर विचारा, कारण हा तुमचा प्रॅक्टिकल सब्जेक्ट आहे, पण ISC आहे त्याला. No queries? Okay. So if you are not having any queries, then wait. We will stop here, but wait for few minutes. Okay. Thank you.